live vlog. My name's Brad. This is episode 92. We're talking about rejection today, the psychology of rejection, how to deal with it, what it feels like. That's what we're going to be talking about. The title for today, hope that's okay, that bright enough, hopefully. Let me just change the lighting a little bit. It's a little bit better. I'm going to get a little bit closer to myself there as well. Hope that's okay. The title for today is The Psychology of Rejection and Why It Hurts So Much. So I'm just going to put this into here. So I'm just going to type away so everyone knows what we're talking about. I'm going to ask the question, has anyone ever been rejected before? Anyone experienced rejection before? Let me just 1 second. All related comments read. Oh, we'll go with that. Done. Okay. There we go. So has anyone experienced rejection before? Okay. I'll leave that there. So the psychology of rejection, why it hurts so much. Recently, let me just think, that's working, that's fine. Hope everything's all right. What was I going to say then? Let me have a drink of tea. I ran into a poll recently asking you how to respond to rejection on my YouTube channel. 100% of you said that you internalize it. You internalize it. 100% of people said you internalize rejection. When you've experienced rejection before and you look within, you think it's your fault, that kind of thing. I've done it myself in the past. That's not anger. That's not motivation, but internalizing that. That tells me this, it isn't just about ego with regards to how people feel when they've been rejected. It's about quiet self-doubt, and that quiet self-doubt can erode your sense of self. That quiet self-doubt that you experience from rejection, you're looking within, thinking, what have I done wrong? Is it me? Etc., etc. And in some cases, it could be you, sometimes, but sometimes it's not. Hello to Hannah. Hi, Hannah Groves. My name's Brad. I'm talking about rejection today. Hi to Luca. Are you okay? I'm okay. Thank you, Luca. And Sandra says hi too. So has anyone ever been rejected before? That's the topic. And it's the psychology of rejection, how it can affect us. So a lot of people on my channel have said that they internalize it. They look within with regards to rejection, to experiencing rejection. So today we'll be unpacking why your brain, I'm referring to it at a moment, why your brain makes rejection feel like a verdict on your self-worth. Why it makes it feel like it's a verdict on your self-worth. Please note, I will be pinning all comments that are related to this topic, and I'll be focusing on them and trying to respond to them the best way I can. Okay? So we'll move on. Hi to everybody, by the way. I hope that you're all okay. My name's Brad, by the way, just if you don't know my name. So why rejection hurts so much? Why does fucking rejection hurt so much? Why is it so painful? I remember experiencing rejection when I was in my 20s, teenage years, being dumped for somebody else when I was young, of course. And I remember it really, it tore me to pieces, absolutely tore me to pieces. And imagine you're with someone and you're young, you're naive, you don't really know yourself. You're probably making mistakes, don't get me wrong, because you're young and you're human. So you don't really know yourself. You can make mistakes or whatever. You're with someone and they say that they love you and you take the word for it and you love them back. And it's all coochie-coo, it's all good. You think it's all good. And it's good for a while, honeymoon period or whatever you want to call it. And then they start ignoring your calls. They start being off with you. They start playing games or whatever it is, and then you're wondering why. So you're calling them even more, which is not the best thing to do sometimes. And you're wondering, what was this person gone? This person that says they love me, now no longer, now they're ignoring my calls. Now they don't even want to be with me. Oh, and before you know it, they're with somebody else. So you've been rejected. That's an example of rejection. And then you think that you're in love with somebody. Well, you are in love with somebody. You think they love you back, but then that dynamic's now gone, and you're wondering why. And you think, shit, what have I done wrong? And you internalize that, and it can be fucking painful, absolutely painful. It's what my point is. And a lot, some people, not everyone internalizes it, but I do personally, and a lot of you guys on my channel have commented on my channel with regards to internalizing this thought process with regards to experiencing rejection. So that's what the avenue we're going down. I'm just going through the comments. I'm going to be reading related comments. Sandra's saying, yes, I felt rejected all my life in the way I am. The thoughts I always had and the way I see the world around me, I all felt very lonely. Thank you, Sandra. I'm going to pin that comment. It's a really good one. I'm sorry that you've experienced that. And rejection doesn't have to always be relationships. No. It could be rejection. You go for a job and someone else gets the job and you're rejected from that. That's rejection, isn't it? Rejected from social circles. Some people don't. You might want to be friends with people and they don't want to know you. They reject you. There's so many different ways you can be rejected in life. I think it's part of life sometimes. It bloody hurts. It can bloody hurt, especially if you feel like you're doing the best you can, being your best self. But Sandra's making a good point. It can feel very lonely. Sandra's then saying, to me, rejection in the early stages of life is not being accepted for who you are. Wow. People not seeing you for who you are. Definitely. Primarily by your own parents. Oh, yeah. People not accepting you for who you are, not really allowing you to be yourself. They're rejecting your true self then, Sandra. That's very deep, very profound. I'm going to change your pinned comment there, Sandra, because that's a really good one. Hannah's then saying, usually it hurts and it goes numb for a bit. It goes numb for a bit. What do you mean by that? Sandra's asking Hannah to elaborate. If she can. Jackie Moore saying, I got rejected because I like listening to Radiohead. Radiohead, they had some great songs in the 90s, didn't they, Jackie? Nice to meet you, by the way. My name's Brad. What happened there, if you don't mind me asking? Okay, so I'll keep reading the comments when I can, guys, but I'm keeping on topic for a while, of course. So social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain. So imagine that. It's painful. It's bloody painful. It hurts. And not all pain is physical pain. If you hurt your arm, you break your arm, it's going to hurt, isn't it? But that emotional pain, it punches differently, but it's still sore. From an evolutionary perspective, exclusion equals danger, doesn't it? Imagine you're in a tribe, let's say, thousands of years ago, and they exclude you from the group. That would mean death, wouldn't it? Because we are, if you're in a tribe 1,000 years ago, just for example, and you're all pulling together, working as a team to collect resources, to grow crops, to get food, etc., shelter, basic things. To be excluded from the group would mean that you won't have access to all that support and help. And I think our nervous systems are still kind of like unconsciously hardwired to that. So therefore, the rejection perspective, your nervous system doesn't treat it lightly at all. Really, really doesn't. It really doesn't. It's that fight, flight, or freeze kind of aspect that will kick in. But here's the deeper layer. From within, it's not just the pain. It's identity. It's threat, like I've just mentioned. Rejection doesn't say no. It says you're not chosen. You're not the chosen one. But someone else has chosen something better. Let's go back to the comments anyway, guys. Let me go back to the comments. The best I can. Sienna says no. Okay, we'll go through. Jackie's saying, I was in a group of girls and then they found out I like Radiohead. Okay, Jackie. I moved on and I still listen to Radiohead. Thanks for sharing, Jackie. So you had a group of friends. You listen, just because you liked a certain type of music, they didn't want to know you. Well, that's their loss, Jackie. Sounds like a very childish thing to do. Not from you, from them. It's a good example of rejection, though. All right, you like that type of music. We don't think that type of music's cool. You like that music. You're weird, so we don't want to include you in our group. That can happen, especially with very narrow-minded people that aren't open-minded at all. Very unevolved, really. Not from you, Jackie, but from them. You moved on, and it's good for you. You moved on, and you still love what you love. You wasn't swayed by the group, Jackie. You could have gone, okay, then I won't listen to Radiohead anymore. I'll pretend I don't like it just to try and fit into the group. But power to you, Jackie, you didn't do that. Excuse me, sorry. I'll get my coffee. Hi, Johnny. How are you? Hope you're okay. I'm trying to stay on topic the best I can. I'm trying different methods, let's say. Johnny, I hope you're okay. Sandra's saying, I also believe you don't have to necessarily, I can't say that word. You don't have to necessarily be, you don't have to be abandoned to feel rejected. It's the unsafety of expressing yourself fully and your emotions not landing safely within the circle that it's meant to be safe. I've experienced that a lot of times in my life where you can't even, you're scared to be yourself fully. So you dim your lights because you're scared of the reactions, the negative reactions, or being shunned by the group. Sandra, it's very wisely said. So they still include you in the group, but it can still feel under the radar, kind of unsafe, kind of thing. Absolutely. One moment. So anyway, let me carry on the best I can. So why do we internalize it? Why do we internalize all these things? So if everyone here internalizes rejection, I do to begin with. I have done in the past. I've looked within. It's a good thing in a way. It's thinking, what have I done wrong? What could I do better? Part of that's a positive. It shows that you're going to work on yourself and you accept responsibility for things. However, doing that too much means being too hard on yourself. And I'm going to go through that in a moment. So let's talk about why. Sandy's saying, yeah, or being constantly gaslighted, Brad. That's rejection too. Constantly gaslighted, yes. Yep. Elaborate a little bit on that, Sandra, if you can. So you're attaching your outcomes to your identity. Attaching your outcomes to your identity. So you get rejected, but you're attaching it to yourself. The truth is you're in, I'll keep going. You don't just want to be, you don't just want the job or the relationship. You want what it says about you. 1 minute. You want what it says about you. I'm trying my best here, guys. You want what it says about you. So an example of that would be a relationship rejection. You've been rejected. They don't want to be with you. It's fucking painful. They don't want you anymore. That's awful, but it happens. That you could internalize that as saying, I'm not attractive enough. Just because someone's rejected you doesn't mean you're not attractive. It just means that they don't want you. Not everyone's for you. Job rejection could mean what? I'm not competent enough. Even though you could be really competent, you could be absolutely fucking brilliant. And someone else has got chosen in front of you. They could be brilliant and you could be brilliant. And the person who's done the interview, the leader or whatever, could have just chosen somebody else for whatever reason. Doesn't mean that you're not incompetent. You want what it says about you. Sorry. Social rejection. I'm not interested enough. I'm doing my best today, guys. Social rejection, I'm not interested enough. Anyway, I'll keep going. So the core insight from this, 1 second, I'm just going to have a little bit of coffee. Sanders saying it's all your fault and they are the victim. It's a form of manipulation. So it's all your fault and it's all your fault and they are the victim. It's a form of manipulation. Yes, gaslighting, absolutely. Thanks for elaborating a little bit more, Sander. I'm just recentering my energy a little bit. Your best is different every day, is what I'm trying to think to myself right now. It's all good. Johnny's then saying, I think it's impossible to not experience rejection in life. True. The difference is how we handle it. If you're looking for a job, for example, every interview can be painful and you blame yourself. But each time you step forward and you drop the ball, you don't get the job. You process, you're getting new information, aren't you, Johnny? You're getting new information. Oh, I didn't know the answer to that question, but I could get some feedback. And I've learned something new, for instance. Sorry, Sander. Sander, I've read, yes, or being constantly gaslighted, Brad, that's rejection too. I've read that. And I've also read, it's all your faults and they are the victim. It's a form of manipulation, Sander. Is that all the comments that you've mentioned? That's the ones I can see. Johnny says, I think it's impossible to not experience rejection. The difference is how we handle it, how we process it, how we internalize it, and how we go moving forwards. If you're looking for, I'm just adding a little bit on there, sorry. If you're looking for a job, for example, every interview can be painful and you blame yourself when you don't get it. Absolutely. I'm missing 2 comments. Sorry, Sander. I can only see what I can see. Oh, Sander, sorry. Right, okay, I apologise. Sander's saying, I also believe you don't have to necessarily be abandoned to feel rejected. It's the safety of expressing yourself fully and your emotions, not landing safely within the circle that is meant to be safe. Sander, I'm not getting all the messages here. I'm doing the best I can. I'm really sorry, guys. My energy's a little bit off today. I'm doing the best I can. I'm sorry if I'm missing your comments. Yeah. Johnny's saying, Sander, there seems to be a glitch. Right, okay. I've seen it on other lives. YouTube seems not to show them all. No, it's not been doing recently. So I can only read what I can read. And that's the way it is. I don't know what the glitch is. Oh, God. Sorry, guys. Oh, keep going, Brad. Keep going. I'm just speaking. I'm giving myself a perk up here. Sandy's saying, Johnny, very true. But once you are aware of yourself and old enough that you can work on it and change things. I was talking of formative years of life. Yeah, but yes, definitely we can control how we perceive it. Yes, absolutely. So the core insight from this, internalizing it, thinking within, gives your brain an answer, doesn't it? Like, oh, they don't want to be with me because I'm not attractive. They don't want to be with me because I'm not interested enough. They don't want to be with me because I'm a bit boring. And that kind of thinking can go inside your head. You're trying to find an answer. You might not like the answer, but you're trying to find it in your head. Even if that answer is bloody painful. I'm talking about the initial internalization that you're going to start doing if you're introspective once you've been rejected. Let's say. Blaming yourself feels safer than accepting you can control other people's choices. Maybe unconsciously. So the control illusion. When you internalize, you create a reason. Create a reason. If there's a reason, there's something to fix. If there's something to fix, you regain control. We can't control someone else's decision to reject you, though. They're just going to do it. If they're going to do it, they're going to fucking do it. Some people are actually more prone to it, especially in relationships. Some people are just going to cheat. That's what they do. They have the honeymoon period. They get with someone. They have they get bored really quickly. They always have to be doing something. Once the honeymoon period doesn't ends, they go to the next person, and that's what they do. Some people just go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. So no matter how fucking great you fucking are, they're just going to get bored really quickly. And that's something within them you can't control that. That's just who they are. That's their nature. And there's probably sometimes you could say pain and trauma within that type of person. Probably, and maybe not, but that's their choice. However, not all rejection is a flaw. It's okay to internalize things. It's okay to have a word with yourself. It's okay to think, do you know what? I could fucking be better here. I could be better there. But not all rejection is a flaw. No, it's not. Sometimes it's preference. Sometimes it's just preference. Sometimes it's timing. So if you met me, oh God, let me think. If I was 23 years old, right? I was a mess. I couldn't have a relationship then. I couldn't have a good, healthy relationship then. You wouldn't be able to do that with me. No fucking chance. It would not happen. I'm a different person now. I'm 43 now. But when I was 20 years ago, no way. I was too fucked up. I was too lost. I was taking drugs. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing. And I was probably unconsciously hurt by rejection in the past. So I was in pain, had a low sense of self-esteem. I was insecure as fuck. I was fucking around, and having a healthy long-term relationship, I would not have been open to it. The timing would have been off. I was a good person within, but I was damaged. I was too much baggage, too many issues. I was not ready for a healthy relationship, but I wasn't aware of it properly. So timing would have been off. So if you meet the wrong person at the wrong time, or sometimes it's a job, sometimes not all rejection, sometimes rejection can be a good thing. Sometimes you think, oh, that girl's really attractive. She's absolutely stunning. But she's fucked in the head. She's messy. She's got things going on. She's got a lot of trauma. And this person is toxic and they reject you. In a way, that's a blessing, but a blessing in disguise. It's like this person is going to take you down a very, very challenging road. If you're with them, they're going to mess your life up. It can happen with a job as well. Think, oh, I really need that job. I really want that job. But that job has a lot of responsibilities, a lot of stress. And if it's not meant for you, it's not aligned to you, it won't be for you. You'll not get it. Sometimes that's a blessing in disguise. It's the universe protecting you in a way, if you want to look at it that way. And sometimes as well, imagine if you're a really well-rounded person, you're fucking healthy, you're a good person, you're healthy. You meet someone, you're attracted to them. But they're insecure. So they're only attracted to people. Some people will be attracted to people who've had childhood trauma. They might be attracted to more toxic people. And it's from their insecurity, they can't handle someone. They're not attracted to someone who's healthy and well put together. They don't align with that. Even if you're healthy and they're not, they won't be aligned to you. They won't be attracted to you. They'll be attracted to what's toxic sometimes, like a moth to a flame. And sometimes rejection can mean sometimes it's their insecurity, not yours. So don't internalize that. It's easier said than done sometimes. And sometimes that's linked to someone else's limitations. Absolutely. I'll read the comments anyway. Sandra saying, Johnny, very true. But once you're aware of yourself and old enough, then you can work on it and change things. I was talking of formative years of life, but yes, definitely we control how we perceive it. I think I've read that. There is a glitch. I'm really sorry. Sandra saying, yeah, it's not your fault, Brad. It's bloody YouTube. Yeah, it plays up in different ways. Absolutely. Johnny said, I think most men at 23 are a mess. Yeah. It's almost like you're just still a young adult. I think me personally, it took me till about 25 to become a bit more mature. 25, I started to begin that process. A bit late, but better late than never, Johnny. I think a lot of men are a mess at 23. It's like you're transitioning from being like a young adult to a grown-up adult kind of thing. So people get stuck there though, Johnny. They don't fucking excuse my French there. They stay stuck. Johnny's saying, I try not to take it personally. On a personal relation, nobody needs to like me. As for professional, as for professional choices, I understand they need to achieve certain goals, and sometimes it might not be the right fit. No, sometimes it might not be the right fit. And sometimes you could be a brilliant person, but you're in the wrong room. You're in the wrong job. They want a certain individual that's going to execute policies. Sounds boring, doesn't it? They want people to execute whatever they need to execute as in a leadership position, and they find this. They want a certain character to deliver those, to achieve those outcomes in a certain way, and it might not align with you as a person. Kind of thinking. You can't see metal ball. Hi, how are you? How are you? My name's Brad. Nice to meet you. Johnny's saying, yeah, I think at 26, 27, I got emotionally mature. Same here, Johnny. I started that. It took me a while. It was a bit messy, if I'm honest, but I got there. I think you're right with a lot of 23-year-old men, let's say. The women grow up quicker. A lot of the time they do. They have other issues, I'm sure. So please remember this stuff. Not being chosen is not the same as not being worthy. So not being chosen is not the same as not being worthy. Absolutely. I'm just going to go quiet for a moment. I'm going to have a sip of tea. I'm just going to relax for a moment. Going off topic a little bit here, but that's fine. What have I been doing? God. I think I'm just a little bit tired, if I'm honest. I've worked all week. I've just had a busy... This is not always me. I've just been busy. It's been busy. My job takes a lot of my energy, man. It really, really does. It takes a lot of my time and energy. I'm doing this the best I can. Anyway, that's that. And I've tried to. I was just read comments a lot of the time, but I want to stay on topic sometimes too. It's getting the right balance, but also keeping the flow. And I'm trying to like keep my chat linked to the community chat as well at the same time. It's a skill, I suppose, that I'm trying to find the right balance with, and that doesn't always work perfectly. Don't attach your self-worth to other people's opinions. Absolutely, Johnny. Don't attach your self-worth to other people's opinions. Yeah, because other people's opinions are going to fucking change. They're going to change. 1 minute, you're the king. Everyone's loving you. They're blowing smoke up your ass. Oh, you're amazing. You're great. Blah, blah, blah. The next minute, they might not be so keen on you. So don't be an approval junkie. Don't be an approval junkie is the saying. And don't be too fucking reliant on other people's opinions, man, because they change with the wind. The wind's always changing. Anyway, sorry, I'm still struggling to speak today. It's okay. It's okay to be imperfect. Anyway. Oh, God. Doing my best. And you've got to just rely on internally your own opinions and your own self-worth. That foundation of actually, but don't rely on anyone else's opinions. Rely on your own. And they'll be solid, and that'll make you more consistent. Absolutely, Johnny. Thanks for sharing. So I'm going to move on the best I can. Why some people become bitter, but you don't. So why some people become bitter, but you don't. Unprocessed rejection can turn into resentment. Resentment protects your ego. So resentment, or this is what can happen. I've been rejected, so I hate that person now. I hate that situation. I hate my boss. I hate that group of people. It's protecting your ego. It justifies the situation. I suppose that's being more projecting kind of thinking. But internalizes don't use but internally don't usually become loud and bitter. They become quiet and self-critical. If you internalize rejection, then you probably replay conversations in their head. Yeah. Does anyone ever do that? Oh, I need to slow down. Doing my best. Thanks, Johnny. You're keeping me going, mate, today. Thank you, man. Resentment or unrealistic expectations. Resentments are unrealistic expectations. Yep. I'm trying to add more to that, but I can't right now. Excuse me. I'm being quiet for a while because I just need to internalize my thoughts a little bit. I'm recentering my energy a little bit. Doing my best. Johnny, I've been having an issue, really, if I'm honest with you. I'm going off on tangent now. It's like, what's happening is I go through the comments, I read all the comments, and everyone loves that, and it gets me more views. But the comments are obviously, they could go anywhere. They go anywhere. And that's what people like. They want validation. We all want validation, don't we? And I think that's, not everyone wants validation, but that's what happens with reading the comments a lot of the time. But then you just get lost in the comments. The comments could go anywhere. And then I'm trying to talk about specific topics. But I'm struggling with it, if I'm honest with you. I'm struggling with it. YouTubing's not always easy. Speaking live's not always easy either, especially when you're thinking about deeper topics and you're trying to be as well-rounded, as intelligent as you can. Yeah. Anyway, this is not always me. I'm just giving a perspective here. You're doing great, no worries. I don't feel like I am, mate, if I'm honest. I don't feel like I am today. It's okay though. It's okay. You've got to keep turning up. Your best is different every day. Sometimes things just flow, and other times things don't. So I'm just slowing down a little bit, trying to recenter a little bit. Thanks. Thank you, Johnny, man. Thank you so much. Sorry. It's what it is. So I'm being self-critical in real time here. See, I do these things. I fucking do it. I've done it all my life. Being self-critical, man. Really have. Hard on myself. And that's got me to where I am in life. That got me away from hanging around with dickheads. That got me away from being I was lost, really lost. Believe it or not, it got me out, me being hard on myself, internalizing all the shit, beating myself up. And I know you can go too far with that, but it really gave me a kick up the arse and got me away from so many bad situations eventually. It gave me the drive to go to university. I come from a working class town. Not many people go to university. Not many people do well for themselves in this town. It's a shithole. People just take drugs, sell drugs, get drunk, take drugs, party away, all toxic behaviors. Small town mentality kind of thing, and you can easily get sucked into that world easily, and it's hard to get out of it because if that's all you know, and because I'm so hard on myself, expected better of myself, I eventually got away from it. And like, no one in my family really went to university. It wasn't expected of me. And you go to school, a school that really, it's not like it's the best school in the world. It's an okay school, but it's not the best school. And that school, basically, the education system, when you're like working class, really, it's just gearing you up to become a good worker bee in a factory or somewhere. So you don't really... The education system... if you go to private school, that education school, that school will, what's it called? I'm going off on topic here, but it doesn't matter. That school will, private school will put you into a position of maybe being a lawyer or being a doctor. More is expected of you. But the working class education system in England, more likely to end up in a lower tier job. So it's kind of like you're born into it, and to get away from that is difficult. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, thanks, guys. Sorry if I've not been perfect today. I've been imperfect today to begin with. Good morning, Brad. How are you? I'm okay, Bailey. Nice to see you again. Hope you're okay. I'm doing the best I can. I'm speaking about rejection today, Bailey. The best I can. And Johnny said it's pushing past your comfort zone. Growth at first feels like resistance. Yeah, it does. I'm feeling it right now, Johnny. Real fucking time, mate. Thanks, man. It's pushing past your comfort zone, and you're just trying new things. And when you try new things, there's resistance. But without resistance, it's like if you're on a bike and you're fucking pedaling and it's an easy gear. There's no effort. There's no strength needed. You're going nowhere. You turn the gear up. You turn the gears up a little bit, basically meaning that you've got to pedal harder. It's harder to pedal. That gives you your momentum, doesn't it? But it's hard because you've got to really put strength into those pedals. So that's your resistance. Absolutely. Does it feel good, Johnny? No, it doesn't. Not in real time. But that's where the momentum is created through concentrated effort, let's say. Snow Squirrel. Hi, Snow Squirrel. How are you? You Snow Squirrel, are you from the Netherlands, if I remember correctly? Good day. I'm working on not giving time to people who take it for granted. Got some people who do care. Why do I still care about those people who take my time and attention for granted? Snow Squirrel, thank you for sharing. I'm going to pin your comment. One moment. Let's focus on Snow Squirrel for a moment. Let's focus on what you've just shared. You're working on this at the moment, not giving your time and energy people who take it for granted. Can you give an example of that specifically, please, Snow Squirrel, so I can understand that a little bit better? Some people who do care, some people who appreciate it, they're obviously more, that's who you're aligned with. That's more of a reciprocal kind of energy transfer, isn't it, between people? But why do I still care about those people who take my time, attention for granted? Why do you still care? Depends on your relationship with them and the past with them. There might be is there other positives that these people have? Is there other positives that these people have? And maybe it's the desire to be liked, a people pleaser in you. Maybe, Snow Squirrel. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to figure it out in real time. Johnny says, hi, Snow Squirrel. Bailey saying, in my 7 years at Oxford University, I did have a drug addiction where I'm now 4 years free. Good for you, Bailey. That's great. Snow Squirrel says, hey to Johnny. Johnny said, I think it's a decision you need to make. It's going to be hard, but definitely worth it. Brad's mirror reveal. That's my point. This mirror in the background, vanity. Can you give my friend Angus James Kennedy a shout out? Big shout out to Angus James Kennedy. There you go. Just saying, how did you achieve that? Hi, Zuki. Good morning. Hi, Zuki. How are you? We'll talk about rejection today, amongst other things. AK99 UK. Hi. Rejection is necessary sometimes in order to gain humility. Rejection is necessary sometimes. Yeah, it is. In order to gain humility. AK99, that's really wisely said. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, a bit of, to make you a little bit, ground you a little bit more humble. Not everything comes for free, AK99. Not everything's easy. If everything was easy, we never had resistance, we never got rejection in whatever way, we wouldn't value it really, would we? It can be humbling. Yeah, it can make you look within and work on yourself too, which I think is a good way to deal with it. Johnny's saying that's an interesting take. Yeah, it is. So you can say, no need to spam, Brad will get around to all messages. I'm trying my best. Bailey saying, when I asked my current girlfriend out, she said no, because I wasn't me due to drugs. And she said, if I don't stop drugs, she won't go out with me. So I cleaned up now. Great, Bailey. That's a very nice partner, that really. That's a really good person. I can relate to that, Bailey. I remember, oh God, I was in my 20s. I was lost. And I think I was interested in someone at the time, a long, long, long time ago. This was 20 years ago, by the way. And I was interested in somebody. And she said, oh, she said, oh, do you take drugs? And I was honest. I said, yeah. And she said, I don't want to be with you. And she rejected me. Rightly so, really. And it made me think. I thought, oh, shit, I need to change my life. Anyway, move on. Snow School saying, like this week, one friend asked for advice or shares things with me. When I gave him tips and lots of messages and responded, I just get ghosted again after. Some only talk when they need you to. So they only need you as a sounding board. That's disappointing. Yes, from your perspective, Snow Squirrel. So someone's asking for advice, you give them the advice, you're responding to them, you're giving them your time and your energy, Snow Squirrel, and then they're not even replying to what you've said. Well, do you know what? Don't cast pearls amongst pigs. Don't cast pearls amongst pigs, is what I get from that. Sounds a bit harsh, but I think that's really rude as well. It's really rude to just ghost you after that. That person might not be ready to hear those things or accept those things. Some people just want validation sometimes, Snow Squirrel. They want to complain and they want to listen to, they just want to hear, they just want to feel like they're heard, which is nothing wrong with that, but they're not ready to find the solution. They don't want to work on the solution. There might be some good reasons for that sometimes, but they're just not ready. But I think it's really rude if you're going to message somebody, ask them a question, they answer it, and then you don't reply back. I think that could be deemed to be rude, yes. So it's up to you what you do with that, Snow Squirrel. That's a form of rejection in a way, isn't it? It's a lighter form. It's a form of rejection, absolutely. In my opinion, Snow Squirrel. Going back to topic a little bit there. Bailey said, saying, I hope that either all of us or none of us are judged by the actions of our weakest moments. Yeah, Bailey. We all have weak moments, Bailey. I look back in the past about what I've done or what I've said, and I've not been perfect, and I must have upset people at some point in my life, and they were my weak moments, Bailey. I'm not perfect either, mate. Really not. So I can resonate with that one. But rather, by the strength we show, when and if we're given a second chance, yes, absolutely. And I think that we should afford that to people too sometimes. Try to be understanding. Give people a chance. Give people the benefit of the doubt, Bailey. Look at the bigger picture. If someone keeps repeating the same mistake over and over again, and they're violating your boundaries, and they're being bang out of order, and they don't change, and they don't listen, that's a different story, in my opinion, Bailey. However, if someone's fucked up, they've dropped the ball, but they're showing genuine remorse, and they're fucking sorry, they really are sorry, and they're trying to be better, that kind of person you should give the benefit of the doubt to, in my opinion. Absolutely. And we all fuck up. We all drop the ball. Even when you think you've got everything together, there's going to be a point where you think, oh, didn't do that perfectly. It's okay, though. It's okay. I get it. Thanks for sharing. Johnny says saying, you miss 100% of the shots you take. Yeah, I love it, Johnny. Yeah. But if you don't shoot at all, you miss everything, don't you? If you don't shoot, you're just not going to hit. You're not going to hit anything if you don't shoot. Oh, I'm too scared of rejection, so I'm not even going to take a shot. I'm not going to bother. That means that's how you fail, 1000%, in my opinion. You've got to try. Zuki saying some people have RSD, rejection sensitivity disorder. Very interesting. Thanks for sharing, Zuki. Which can make the impact of rejection feel immensely debilitating. Zuki, I think in my 20s, I was so scared of rejection because I felt such immense pain from rejection in a relationship I was in. I got dumped. I got cheated on. They ended up with somebody else. Oh, I was in such pain, man. I was in such pain. And I thought, I don't want to feel that ever again. And I changed the way I was for a while just to avoid that rejection. It can cause you to spiral out and take self-judgment, hatred in a big way. Yeah, it can. You can get really good men or women that are lovely people. They get rejected, they get cheated on, and then they turn the other way. They think, oh, everyone's playing games. I need to be the cheater. I don't want to feel that again. I'm never going to be in that situation again. And they lose the sense of self in a way. And they could become the person who cheats on others then, for example. Just one example anyway. There we go. AI 3000 for giving a shout out, a sub, by the way. AI 3000, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks to anyone that's liked and subscribed. Jonah saying, am I the only kid here? I don't know, Jonah. Jonah, to be honest, this is more, obviously I'm 43 years old, so you're more than welcome here, of course. And you could learn a lot from being on here, hopefully. But I speak in an adult manner, of course, because I am an adult, of course. And a lot of people that come on here will be of similar mentality, of course. There is some younger people. There's different ages that come on here, yeah. But I can't say the age of everybody here that's watching right now. Anyway, Zuki saying the greater the bond with someone, the deeper the rejection can cut. Fucking hell, Zuki. I love that. I'm sharing it. That's so good. Oh, so right. God, I'm going on. I'm reminiscing now. I remember being in a relationship. I was 18 years old. Let's say it's your first love. Let's call it that. And there's a strong bond there. You feel it. And then that person loves you back and they're showing you loads of love. And then all of a sudden it just stops. And you're thinking, why has it stopped? And you're trying to get it back and they just don't want to know you anymore. And that's where it can cut really deeply. Really, really hurts. Yeah. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. But it's a fucking painful one. Bailey said, Jonah's saying, yeah, true. Okay, cool. Bailey saying, sorry, Jonah's saying, yeah, true. Forgive me. Bailey saying, when my sister started dating, I said, you deserve someone who makes you feel like you've been struck by fucking lightning. Don't you dare settle for fine. Sorry for the swearing. Don't worry, Bailey. I swear too. When my sister started dating, I said, you deserve someone who makes you feel like you've been struck by lightning. You deserve to feel like you've got someone who actually genuinely loves you, Bailey. We all do. I agree. Don't settle for just fine. Don't settle for disrespect. Disrespect. Second best is good enough for no one, Bailey. Hi, the Raw Jaw. Raw Jaw, can I say something, the Raw Jaw? Are you still there? Can I say something? I'm going to send some appreciation to the Raw Jaw. But early on, you was one of my early subscribers, the Raw Jaw. Honestly, you were. I don't know if you remember, but to me, I remember you from ages ago when I was just doing videos, and you're always commenting and giving your perspective, your well thought out perspectives. I just want to say thanks to the Raw Jaw. Thank you so much, by the way. I remember you subscribing when I must have had about 20 subscribers. I had next to none, and I was in that hardly any subscribers area for a long, long time. Believe it or not, it took me a long time just to get to where I am now, which a lot of people might think you've not got that many. I've got 360 subscribers now. But early on, when I was making videos, I had next to none, the Raw Jaw, and you were one of the early ones that came. So I just want to say thank you to you. Thanks to everyone else as well, of course, for subscribing. I really appreciate it. But I'm sending some respect specifically right now to the Raw Jaw. I think this is the first time I've seen you on my live or commenting. Sorry, I'm just sending out some gratitude there, mate. But the Raw Jaw then said, enter Platonism, the antidote to the heartbreak from rejection under the romance system. Thank you for sharing. Can you elaborate a bit more, the Raw Jaw, please? You seem to know a lot about that. The Raw Jaw, can you elaborate? Yes, please do, the Raw Jaw. Thanks for joining the chat. HS is saying a job application many times. Yeah, you apply for jobs, especially in today's market in England. I don't know about elsewhere. It's harder to get jobs. So rejection is going to come from applying from jobs to jobs. Absolutely. It's dealing with it the best you can. Zuki saying to Bailey, bless you. Sending love and respect. Sounds like you are a lovely and protective sibling. Absolutely. That's beautiful. Absolutely. Bailey saying, I believe in communism. Rom-communism, that is. Romantic communism. Okay. I've never heard of that one before, Bailey. If Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan can go through some heartfelt struggles and still end up happy, then so can we. Yes, but you've got to have the right dancing partner to achieve that, in my opinion, Bailey. If you've got one person who's a really good, healthy person, and you've got another person who's a good, healthy person, let's say, and they're introspective and they're good at communicating, that's going to work for the ups and downs if they accept accountability. But if you get one person who's really accountable, let's say, and one person who's never wrong, the other person's never wrong, ever. They're never wrong. Even if they are wrong, in their head, they're not wrong. Good luck with that. You've got to have two people that are open-minded, let's say, to achieve that, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll move on. Snow squirrel, that's exactly how it feels like what you described, casting pearls. Snow, I love it. I'll say it again, don't cast pearls amongst pigs. They're not going to appreciate it. Don't waste your energy on it. I know it can be painful, that accepting that reality with people that you might have respect for to an extent. But don't bother. Don't give them it. Don't waste your words on people who don't appreciate it. Fuck them. Sounds really sorry, but there you go. The Raw Jaw is saying Platonism is a horizontal interpersonal relationship paradigm where there is no possessiveness, no performance, and therefore no heartbreak. Love it. Love it. Absolutely. There's no possessiveness. You don't own anyone. You don't control anyone. No performance. Just be yourself. You're not pretending to be something that you're not, there, the Raw Jaw then. And therefore no heartbreak. Yeah, because it's happening naturally, isn't it, more? Possessiveness isn't good, is it? It's like holding on to something. Possessiveness can lead to jealousy. Can lead to resentment, can't it? Lead to possessiveness can lead to manipulative behavior, controlling behavior, potentially, the Raw Jaw, in relation to what you've said. But Platonism is there's no possessiveness. It's letting things be as they are, accepting them as they are, loving someone as they are. You know what I mean? How they actually are. No performance is required, because you're just being your true self. and love for being your true self. That's the ideal, the raw jaw, and therefore no heartbreak. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate you. Thank you. And Bailey saying, Zuki, I'm a twin. It's what happens. All right, Bailey, so you all right. I think you might mention that before, but I've forgotten. Got a twin. Interesting. Thanks for sharing. Romance is raw jaw is sharing. Romance is defined by possession and perform activity, and it's vertical. So no surprise that it's so toxic. Possession. And yeah, you're mine, kind of thinking the raw jaw. You're mine, you belong to me. And you best perform in the way I want you to perform. Otherwise, I won't give you love. It's conditional, isn't it? That's conditional. That's conditional. Kind of thinking the raw jaw in relation to what you're talking about. Thank you for sharing. Anyway, Santa saying, please like and subscribe, everyone. Please like and subscribe. Thank you to anyone that has. I appreciate you all. Thank you. I'm talking the best I can. I love reading the comments. I really do. I love doing the lives. I used to do edited videos, and I might do them again in the future. But right now, I'll just do lives because I can just be I just prefer to be my true self, as imperfect as that is. And I appreciate everyone that's on here. Thank you. By the way, I really do. Johnny's saying the raw jaw. That's interesting. It is, Johnny. I don't believe in love like in a romantic way. Emotions can deceive. Emotions can deceive. They can sometimes. The emotional guidance system. Emotions can be very powerful. You shouldn't make a decision when you're angry, should you, really? If you're angry, don't make any decision. Don't make a decision if you're tired either, because your emotions will be the way you view the world when you're tired, especially. You're more agitated easily. You're not going to make great decisions, in my opinion, when you're in that state of mind, is what I'm thinking about there. Davis, hi, Davis. Hello, welcome. I'm glad you've managed to be able to come on. I hope you're okay, Davis. Johnny says hi to Davis. How are you feeling? If I'm honest, I'm not 100% today. I'm doing my best, but I'm here, and I'm appreciated. I appreciate everyone else that's here, and I'm just doing the best I can today. If I'm honest, my second tooth came out rotten. Ooh. Have you got a dentist appointment? Sandra's saying that's beautiful, Brad. I don't know what I can't remember, Sandra, but thank you. Bailey says good morning to Sandra. Saying thanks to Rojo. All right, yeah, Sandra, yeah. He was that person was here really, really early on, like really early on, and that person has commented on my videos quite often, every now and again, like, let's say, but I just wanted to say thank you to them. I've never seen them on my live before, but I do remember the Rojo from about a year ago, approximately. Anyway, Zuki said, interesting quote I found. Okay, Zuki. Do not be afraid of rejection. It is better to be rejected for who you are than accepted for who you're not. I fucking love that. Zuki, I can't even disagree with that whatsoever, in my opinion. I'm reading it again, Zuki. Do not be afraid of rejection. It is better to be rejected for who you are, for being your fucking true self, for being your best true self, absolutely, than being accepted for who you're not. I'd rather be a real nobody than a fake somebody. I'd rather be a real nobody than a fake somebody. I'm thinking with regards to what you just said. I'm pinning that comment. Thank you, Zuki. Trying to say hello to Bailey. Davis saying hello, Brad. I'm here. You're more than welcome. Welcome, Davis. I'm glad that you're here. Natalia, hi, hello, mate. Hello, Natalia. How are you? How are you? My name's Brad, by the way, Natalia. Sandra says, love that, Zuki. Sandra says hi to Natalia. Natalia, apologise. I'm saying. Natalia's saying, this is a joke. What's a joke? I don't get you. It took me some time to track you down to rejoin your live vlogs. Did it, the Rojo? Can you elaborate on that, please? Why? It took you some time to track me down. Is it because of the algorithm that you have in relation to the content that you consume on YouTube? Maybe. I'm trying to think out in real time here, the Rojo. Natalie says Death Note. Death Note is a really good anime. I've watched it years ago. I've not watched the film version. I've seen the movie version. I've seen the animated first season years ago. Natalia. The Roger said, are you guys familiar with Bertolt Brecht? No, I'm not. I'm writing the name down though, the Roger. Bertolt sounds German, but I could be wrong. Bertolt Brecht. I'm probably saying it wrong. No, I've never heard of him before, the Roger. Johnny's saying, yeah, Zuki, if you're not disliked for what you stand for, is it even worth it? And also, you're not going to be liked by everyone, and that's a good thing sometimes. Because if you don't stand for anything, it's good to stand for something sometimes. And if you are going to stand for something, if you're going to stand for your integrity and your principles of life, not everyone's going to appreciate that. Not everyone's going to like that. But that shows that you do it. That you've not lived if you've not been like that to an extent. Stand by your own principles. Stand by your own opinions. Imagine in the workplace and everyone's like slagging somebody off. They hate them. And they could hate them because they're jealous of them, but they just do. There's a group of people that hate this person. But this person you found has been really nice. And you know what? You found them to be a good person. And they've never done anything wrong to you. They've only ever been kind to you. And they're trying to influence your opinion of that person in a bad way. But you stand by your own fucking integrity and go, do you know what? That person's never been horrible to me. I'm not going to badmouth them. I'm actually going to stick up for them. And this group of people might not like you because it doesn't fit their narrative. But what you're doing, you're standing for something. You're standing for something. Anyway, I'll move on. Sandy saying the Rojo, the Rojo, sending love and respect. We are really happy to have you here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sandy saying, Johnny, can you elaborate what that means for you? Good question, Sandra. Sorry, guys. One moment. Let me just flip that over. Sandy saying, Johnny, can you elaborate what that means for you? I've already read that out loud. Johnny saying, the Rojo sounds familiar, but can't remember right now. No, I can't recall in my head, if I'm honest. Rojo saying, I gave my perspectives on the concept of neurodivergence. Okay, thank you for reminding me, the Rojo. DNG Maestro, are you bald? If you have a visual ability, meaning that you can see, you can answer that one yourself. Of course I'm bald. I've got a bald head. It's obvious, isn't it? I don't know why you'd have to ask that question, if I'm honest. If you were blind, then maybe you'd ask that question. But anyway, Zuki saying another quote. Thank you, Zuki. Rejection is simply redirection. Wow. Implying that let me start again. Rejection is simply redirection, implying that rejection can reveal underlying red flags in others, signaling that they may not be the right person to have in your life and to seek others. Bang on. I'm reading it again. Rejection is simply redirection. This is sometimes things aren't meant for you. They're not meant for you. Even if you really want something and you think, oh, I really want that, but the room's not for you. It's not meant for you. You're meant to be going somewhere else maybe, but you can't see it at that time. And sometimes it's redirection. Like you've hit a cul-de-sac, you've hit a brick wall, you've hit the end of the road. You've gone left. You've gone left. This is my left, by the way. Gone left. But you should have turned right, but you didn't know. You tried to go left. and you got to the end of the road, and there's a room full of people, you're knocking on the door, and they don't even answer it, and you're thinking, oh shit, I need to redirect, I need to go the other way. And sometimes that happens in life. And you think, oh, for fuck's sake, it took me ages to get to this room. I've worked really hard to get to this room, and I've knocked on the door, and they're not even answering. They don't even want me. And it can feel horrible, but it's redirection. So you turn around and you go the other way. So implying that rejection can reveal underlying red flags in others, signaling that they may not be the right person to have in your life and to seek others. Perfectly said. I'm pinning that one. Thank you. Johnny's saying, Sandy, if you try to fit in by not being yourself, you don't fit in. No. I refuse to be someone who I'm not. I refuse to be. I refuse to give up on my integrity and who I am as a person. I'm not going to be a performing monkey for others. I'm not going to be a puppet on a string. I'm not going to do it. No, I won't. That might impact me at my job, you know. I think it does. I think it does. I think sometimes the management want weak-willed people that will do as they say, and they will give them a leadership position to achieve that. Therefore, delivering on their policies and whatever, I'm not that person. I'm a non-conformist in my own way. Anyway, that's just me. I know it sounds stubborn, but I'll keep going. Anyway, so you're saying, yep, exactly. Bailey says, I'm going to share a story about me if you don't mind me sharing. Bailey, do not mind sharing at all. I appreciate you sharing anything. Thank you. If Johnny's saying, if they don't like you because of a certain belief, it's better to move on. Yeah. People feel threatened. Oh, you don't agree with me. Oh, I don't like you now then. It's like, what the fuck? Even if someone doesn't agree with me, it's absolutely fine. There's lots of different perspectives. It's collective consciousness that we're going through right now with these comments. I don't feel threatened by someone who doesn't agree with me either. I actually think, all right, okay, interesting. I'll try to hear them out and try to understand other people. Even if I don't 100% agree with them, it doesn't mean if someone doesn't agree with me, it doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means that they have a different perspective. And I don't try to prove other people wrong sometimes. I think that's being open-minded. It's so fucking good to be open-minded. And not one size fits all in every situation, in my opinion. Anyway, Sandra's saying, can I just take this moment and send appreciation towards Brad? Nearly 10 years with this beautiful man, and he's always made me feel so secure, grounded, and loved. Oh, thanks, Sandra. I love you too. Thank you. Sending love and respect back to you, Sandra. Thanks. Bailey saying, when I was young, I was sat trembling in the bathroom with Alison and asked her to cut my hair short. Okay. Tears welled as I whispered, I feel like your brother, not your sister. She held me close. Scissors. She held me close with scissors. Sorry, 1 second, Bailey. When I was young, I was sat trembling in the bathroom with Alison and asked her, is that your sister? I'm assuming. Oh, it's lovely, Bailey. Thank you for sharing. Tears welled as I whispered, I feel like your brother, not your sister. She held me close. That's lovely. I'm assuming that's your twin sister, Alison. Am I correct in saying that? Adoration Shirley Johnson says, hi. Hi, Adoration Shirley Johnson. How are you? The Rojo's then saying, my recent ideas in game development happen to involve platonic relationships, at least one of which is an escape from a suffocating romantic relationship. Game development, what do you mean by game development? Sorry, the Rojo, I'm trying to understand you the best I can. Happen to involve platonic relationships. Trying to escape, yep. Thank you for sharing. I'll keep going. So I'm going to go back a moment. I'm thinking in real time here. One moment. Trying to escape from a suffocating romantic relationship, absolutely. It's not good, the Rojo, absolutely. Sorry, I can't add any more onto that right now. My cognitive abilities are failing me a little bit. I'm doing the best I can. Zeke says, happy early anniversary, such a lovely thing to say. Yeah, thank you, Sandra. Lovely. It's barely saying, Alison stood in front of me, brave and fierce, shielding me from the storm. My world cracked open. Child services came. I was sent to a boarding school. Kind faces, new routines, but endless nights. What was life like at a boarding school, Bailey? Is the question. Santa's saying thank you to Zuki. He just has the ability to make me feel so safe in who I am as a person. To me, that's priceless. I'm very grateful. Grateful to you too, Sandra. Thank you. It's lovely. No worries, Sandra. It's all good. Oh, thanks. It's all good. Thank you. Zuki saying that is so precious. We all deserve someone in our lives that makes us feel that way for sure. Yeah. God. It takes time to find that person sometimes, or it doesn't happen overnight. I think you've got to be, I think a lot of the time you've got to be the person, you've got to have a good relationship with yourself before you meet someone that to get that type of relationship. And sometimes it can feel very lonely and you can be there for a long time. So being in a good relationship with yourself and being okay with being on your own, not being desperate for anybody helps with regards to finding someone, in my opinion. You've got to find yourself first, in my opinion. Anyway, Bailey saying, time, the buried pain, the unbreakable bond. We talked until dawn, fear, regret, love. We forgave, we healed, we rebuilt. Mum came slowly, heart opening. Alison, you say me then and every day since. Oh, that's lovely, Bailey. Thanks for sharing. Sandra says, I totally agree, Zuki. Finding your best friend and everything else is a person who's rare and very precious. Yeah. What can happen sometimes, Sandra, so some people do. They'll meet a really nice person. This person loves them. They've hit the lottery. They've found a really great person. And what some people do, they take that person for granted. They cheat on them, let's say, and they think that they can get that same thing out of the next person, and it's a rarity. And then they never find it ever again. And then that person that was there for them moves on. They don't want to go back with them ever again because they've been cheated on, for example. And I don't know, I'm not getting my words out badly here. Basically, what I'm trying to say is sometimes people meet a really nice person, really loves them to bits, fucking perfect, but they think they're going to get that with everybody. Become a bit naive, some people. And the truth is, a lot of people aren't going to be, these kind of people are rare. They're rare. So hold on. If you find someone that actually genuinely loves you, that's not manipulative, loves you for who you are, don't take them for granted. Anyway, Billy saying, showing up though the hurt changed everything. I love you more than words. It's lovely, Bailey. Thank you for sharing. The Rojo, it took me a while to catch up. The algorithm, indeed. And as well, your username slipped my mind, and the only lead I had was some shorts of yours. Okay, thanks for explaining the Rojo. And yes, Bertolt Brecht was German. Thought so. I'm just assuming with the name there. Thanks, the Rojo. Zuki saying that's beautiful to Bailey. Bailey says thank you to Zuki. Johnny says, Bailey, it sounds like you've been through a lot. I remember the health struggles you mentioned the other day. Question for you. What did you take away from those experiences? Good question, Johnny. Good question. What did you take away from those experiences? What did you learn? Have you reflected from those experiences, and what have you learned from them? And what how do you use it going forwards in your life? Rojo said, tell us about your time in Croatia. Okay, I will do. One moment. Rojo, my partner is Sandra, who's on here today. I've been with her for nearly 10 years, the Rojo. She's Croatian, but we live in England, just to let you know. And I go to Croatia twice a year, at least once a year. And I've been going there for the last 10 years. Every year I've been going there for the last 10 years, on holiday, of course. I might live there one time. It's in Split as well, the Rojo. Split. I don't know if you've heard of Hajduk Split, the football team. It's a lovely place. Croatia's great. The currency used to be Croatian kuna, but 2 years ago, approximately, they went to the euro and it made everything more expensive. It's a really nice place. I love it. It's a much more laid back. It's less of a rat race, the Rojo, than England. Much less. People earn less money though there, but the cost of living is a lot less too. For example, utility bills, water, electric, council tax, that type of thing is a lot less there. But you earn less money, let's be honest. Could I live there in the future? Maybe. Maybe I can make that happen. Actually, I'm going to look at making that happen, but not right now. It's a nice place, man. It's a nice place. It's a bit more old school as well. Imagine you're in Croatia. You need an appointment. You just turn up, and you've got an appointment, and they'll check your bloods or whatever. They'll give you everything you need, your prescription, everything you need in one appointment. It's more old school, the Rojo. Like, go to the doctors. You get seen relatively quickly. There's only 4 million people that live in Croatia. Less people, less problems in a way. They've got different problems, infrastructural problems, let's say. But yeah, you just turn up to an appointment. They take all your bloods, the full blood count if you needed it, just for an example, and off you go. And you've got your prescription. You pick up your prescription. You've got everything in one go. In England at the moment, you've got to book an appointment, which takes forever. Then you'll get a really quick, you'll see your GP. It's a 5-minute appointment. So he's rushing through it. He's stressed out, the GP I'm on about. And you go, all right, you need to book a blood appointment. Like, all right, I need to book another appointment to get my bloods taken. That takes 2-3 weeks, even longer sometimes. And it takes forever. You've got to jump through loads of hoops just to get what you want. In Croatia, you're getting that done in one go. That's just an example. It's better for that. The food's amazing as well, the Rojo. It's so much better than English food. It's Mediterranean diet, which is basically Italian food in a nutshell, with some Turkish food as well. It's great. Food's great. The quality of the food's a lot better too. Yeah. Anyway, that's a quick take on Croatia. Sandra's saying the Rojo, oh my God, that's super sweet. Sandra's saying thank you to the Rojo. Sandra said, well, that's lovely, Zuki. Sorry, I thought I went off on a tangent there. I try to answer the questions the best I can. Blue Fox, Little Sister Sweet. I'll bet so. I don't know what that is, Rojo. Blue Fox, Little Sister Sweet. I don't know what that means, Blue Fox. Sorry. Johnny, Bailey saying, Johnny, therapy and professional help. You must have done a lot of soul searching there, Bailey, to achieve that. Done very well by the sounds of it. Respect and to you, basically. Power to you. Johnny's saying, I'm glad that helped. But what did you learn from that? Is there a lesson that you took from it? The biggest lessons come from the biggest hardships, yeah, they do. The hard one will fucking take you home. The most painful things can teach you the most. When that initial pain kicks in, though, it's hard. It's fucking hard. It does not feel good. You feel crippled by that pain or whatever that is. It's bloody hard. But yeah, that's where the lessons are, man. If everything was easy all the time and everything was perfect, you wouldn't learn much because everything would be easy. That's just the way it goes. I suppose, though, if you're wise enough, you can learn from, if you're introspective enough, you can learn from other people's mistakes and try to avoid them sometimes. Anyway, but sometimes you've got to learn the hard way too. Sandra's saying to Bailey that she hopes that you're okay. That's lovely. Avlu saying, hi, Avlu. How are you? My name's Brad. Nice to meet you, by the way. Sandra's saying, Johnny, that's really deep. A great question. It is a great, yeah, I agree. Bailey saying, congratulations to Sandra. They're all just saying, I've been known to laugh at Christians who preach to me. Yeah. They're all, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with any religion. Practice, believe what you want, practice what you want. I think they all point to the same thing, the Rojo, in my opinion. Each their own. I don't agree with someone preaching though to anyone. Oh, this is the one true God. You better believe in my true God. I'm going to tell you what to believe, the Rojo. That kind of thing. It's like, no, come on. sort your life out, basically. So I can see why you'd laugh at that. I can see why you'd laugh at that. When someone's preaching, I've nothing against anyone who believes in whatever they want to believe. Accept people for what they want to believe in. And that's, if it helps them become a better person, fucking good for them. But don't preach. Don't tell people what's what. I agree, they're all sure. So I was saying, if someone doesn't agree with me, I don't get upset with them. No. Especially if they do it in a respectful way, in a thoughtful way. They probably just have a different perspective. Absolutely. It's okay. Shouldn't be offended by that. Even sometimes I've had an opinion on something, someone's come up with a different perspective and they've explained it so well, and I thought, actually, I've never thought of it that way. And I've actually been persuaded by them. Sometimes. That's the beauty of being open-minded. You learn new things. So I'm saying, that's me, the Rojo. Bailey saying that I'm transgender. Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing, Bailey. How have you found that process? Team Tempest, hello from Stock, Essex, UK. Hi, Team Tempest. You're more than welcome here. Hope you're okay. Zuki said saying, I bet that moment is one you'll never forget. That's so sweet. Sounds like you're both very supportive of each other. Yeah, we do. We try and help each other the best we can. You need that in this life. Roger's then saying more on platonism. Okay, the horizontal nature thereof means no idealization, no devaluation, and nobody falls in or out of love. You're not in love with an idea then, the Roger, with platonism. You're not in love with an idea. If you're in love with an idea of someone, what's going to happen? You're probably going to get disappointed because you're in love with an idea. The idea is not the truth, is it? And no devaluation. And nobody falls in or out of love. Thank you again, the Rojo. Sandra's saying, Bailey, you're transgender. Bailey says yes. Johnny's then saying, true, Sandra, we see and perceive things differently and therefore have different values and beliefs. Sandra says hello to Essex. Tempest, she says hello, Team Tempest. Hello, Essex. Sandra saying, Johnny, yes. High five. TC Gaming, Johnny, I love you. Keep up the good work, bud. TC Gaming says, preach. Don't know what you mean by that. Johnny is very wise, though. Yes, very wise. Special, yeah, I agree. 1000%. I feel lucky to have him on here. He enriches, yeah. Absolutely, Sander. Absolutely. Bailey saying, Sander, I'm okay. I just have a lot of trauma and anxiety. And you're working through it the best way you can, Bailey. Keep going. Don't give up. I feel like you're doing well. I don't know the full story of you, Bailey. Of course I don't. And I can't speak for everything about yourself because I don't know everything. Of course I don't know about that, specifically about you, but keep going. Keep going. You seem like you've got the intelligence and the wisdom to navigate through that trauma. Boiling Frog says, hi, Boiling Frog. How are you? Sandra's sending love and respect to Johnny. And Johnny's sending love and respect to Sandra and TC Gaming. Roger's saying, I'm also immersed myself in Russian. Do you speak Russian? For the vlogs of this cat below, Robin Setplut. Don't know who that is. Yeah, I can see. The Boiling Frog, yes, I can see your comment. Of course. Johnny's saying, Bailey, I can understand having a lifestyle that isn't accepted by society can be hard. Yeah, I'm living to that and being true to that. It can be difficult. Dukey's giving me some more quotes. I love quotes, man. I love some quotes. They're amazing. False friends are like shadows. They follow you in the sun but leave you in the dark. Yeah, they do. Some people are just there for the good times. When you've got something to when you've got something they can get from you, they're there. But that leave you in the dark. Yep, that happens. So you can say some people aren't loyal to you. They are loyal to the need of you. Once your needs change, so does their loyalty. Exactly. So you can say the worst pain is not betrayal, but the slow realization that you were never as important to them as they were to you. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, pinning that one. The worst pain is not betrayal, but that realizing that they didn't give a shit about you. They didn't really care about you. You thought that they loved you. You thought that they were there for you. You thought that they gave a shit about you, that they genuinely love you, and then the realization after you've been rejected by them in whatever way is that they didn't give a fuck, and it can be really painful. Roger saying blue fox little sister refers to the Star Fox character Crystal. Multiple clues in the series point to a trauma rooted in a catastrophic head injury. Interesting, Roger. Ion Nuts works for IPD. I do not care. That's okay. If you don't care, that's your choice. That's your autonomy, isn't it? You don't have to care about anything. If you don't want to, it's your choice. FC Edit, send him 2 to 3 years Dagestan and forget. Who? FC Edit. Ion Nuts works for IPD, saying no rejection can defeat a strong man with clear mind like me. They are the worst thing than a mere rejection. That's a bit of stoicism linked to that. Ion Nuts. No rejection can defeat a strong man. It might knock the strong man down a little bit, but he's going to bounce back. He's going to learn from it, and he's going to work on himself. What I used to do, I've been rejected in the past, and I'd internalize it to begin with. I'd beat myself up to shit. I really would, especially when I was younger. I'm better at it now. And then I'd start to go to the gym. I start to work on myself, start to read books, start to learn. I'd strengthen my mind with knowledge, with reading books, and I'd go to the gym, I'd work out physically, I'd eat healthily, and I'd try to fucking become healthier. And that helped me become stronger. Ion Nuts, thanks for sharing. Johnny's saying true Ion Nuts as well. Santa's saying, that's lovely. Well done, Brad, for explaining Croatia well. I tried to explain it the best I could in a short amount of time. Santa's saying, Johnny the Wise, absolutely. There's a lot of wise people that come on here. I learn from you guys a lot. It's great. Zuki said, I think, to be honest, we aren't generally taught about handling and processing rejection. No, we're not. Not in school. Not by our parents, more than likely. Yet we all have a story to tell surrounding it in our history. It leaves us to find the tools ourselves. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does, Zuki. No one teaches you this. You learn the fucking hard way. And it hits you like, if you're not expecting it, you're thinking, oh, everything's going to come to me easy. I'll be fine. And then all of a sudden you get rejection. It's like, ooh, big slap in the face. The good thing about rejection, if you're wise enough, it can force you to be reflective. It can tell you self-reflective. And that's where the growth can begin. John Bollocks 101. What's going on here? We're talking about rejection, mate, loosely, but I'm reading the comments as well, John Bollocks. Hope you're okay. Johnny's saying, LOL, Sander. My name is Brad, by the way. Nice to meet you if you're still here. Zuki's saying, which is why supportive, loving community is so important. Yep. To understand things, to talk about things, to help us figure it all out sometimes. Ion Nuts. Be strong, brothers. If someone rejects you, it's not the end. That person cannot see your real value. Besides that, they do not deserve you. Be yourself and do your thing. God sees everything. God sees everything. I do believe in the other side. I do believe that, yeah, I do believe the other side. That's my opinion. Not everyone has to agree with that. You very wisely said, I'm nuts. Be strong. If someone rejects you, it's not the end. That person cannot see you, they're revaluing you. They don't appreciate you. It's okay. Keep going. You deserve to be your best self. Thank you, I'm nuts. Very wisely said. I'm going to pin your comment there. Great. Thank you. Santa's saying Zuki agreed. The Roger saying cat lover, not cat inferior. Okay. Santa's saying, and I love, and Santa's saying love and respect to Zuki. You are delightful. That's lovely. Roger saying, I speak a little Russian. In fact, I once met a Russian girl at university. What university did you go to, the Roger? And what did you study, if you don't mind me asking? Interesting. Great book. Fyodor Dostoevsky. I might be saying his name wrong. Crime and Punishment is a great book. Oh, what a great book. Has anyone read Crime and Punishment? Really well written. Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's got other books as well that I've not read, but he was a great author, wasn't he? Amazing author from a long time ago, but a great author anyway. He was a pioneer in a lot of ways. And Zuki saying, oh, you too, Sander. It's great to have you on here for this conversation. Truly invaluable. That's lovely. Johnny saying, the Roger, very interesting. No idea what you said. The Star Fox series, I've not come across that, the Roger. I know nothing about it, if I'm honest. What do you like about it? What do you find interesting about it? What do you find helpful about it? I am not simp. Besides, if someone rejects you, remember you all have a family, siblings, parents, grandparents. You have a support system, hopefully. I am nuts. An auntie and uncle that care about you, friends that care and love for you. I am nuts. That's beautifully said. Some people have that. Some people don't. Some people don't have that. I am nuts. But I'd like to hope that most people do have somebody, at least somebody that actually that's there for them, that support system. That's lovely. Roger's repeating, I do speak a little Russian. Actually, I once met a Russian girl at university. Santa's saying Russian girls are beautiful. Johnny said, I had a Russian girlfriend in my teens, but only learnt like 3 words, LOL. Did she speak English, Johnny? Or German or whatever? Sorry. What? Sorry, I'm getting noise out. But what? Did she speak a language that you understood? Let's say that. Roger's saying, I memorize various words and retain them based on the presence in or resemblance to other related language. Russian is Slavic, for instance, yeah. And Nanny, hi Nanny, how are you? Privet, I don't know what privet means. The Roger's then said, I also do know I need to learn to decline and conjugate words, which makes pronouns redundant in daily conversation. Johnny's then saying, yeah, for me, it's the romantic languages. Once you have 2 or 3, the others feel easy. So there's like the similarities that you can draw upon with regards to different languages once you've learnt the words, is what I'm gauging from that. You did computer science, software engineering. Bloody hell, you must be smart. Very specific, that. Very, I'm assuming that's very well, I know nothing about software engineering. Sorry, the Roger, but I can imagine it. Is it good for job opportunities? Computer science, I know nothing about that, but it's interesting. Very specific. I think you've got to be smart for that, the Roger. Absolutely, in my opinion, anyway. The Roger saying this is true for Slavic and Finnic. Right, okay. I feel like every live we get 2 different languages. Yeah, I think that's great. I think it's interesting. Different languages coming to the table. Sandy's saying, I'm obsessed with Russian realism literature. Crime and Punishment is my favourite book of all time. I've read it 3 times. Well, you've read it 3 times. I've only ever read it once, Sander. It's a great book. Johnny said, Roger saying, I also speak German. It's similar to English. Roger, Johnny speaks German, by the way. Jeebus loves me. Fears. What do you mean by that? Fears. Fears of what? Jeebus just loves me. Fears. What fears? Johnny saying, yes, she spoke German. Okay, the Russian person that you used to be with a long time ago spoke German. One moment. I'm just going to have a sip of tea. One moment, guys. Sorry. So you said it's also the case that people who are neurodivergent both experience more rejection and simultaneously are less biologically equipped generally for handling said rejection. You're really smart, Zuki. People that are neurodivergent both experience more rejection and simultaneously are less biologically equipped generally for handling said rejection. Is it because of how the minds work? That's interesting. I can't think of the science behind that right now, but thank you for sharing. Nani saying, Privet is hey in Russian. I did not know that. Nani, thank you for that. Privet is hey in Russian. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for educating me there. MTLUK, rejection and deflection. Interesting. Can you elaborate on that? What's your thoughts on MLTUK? Thank you for sharing. Can you elaborate on that? Rejection and deflection. What's your opinion on that? What's your thoughts on that? What do you mean by that? Nick says, hey. Hey, Nick, how are you? I'm not reading the rest of your name because it's a bit racist. Anyway, Iron Nuts is saying, life is great. Make world great again. We all have your plus and minuses. We're all humans. Yeah, we all fuck up. We're all human, absolutely. All people is not made by God to be perfection incarnated. Don't let minuses drag you down. Don't let the losses or the mistakes define you too much. You don't make mistakes. The mistakes make you, Iron Nuts, in relation to what you're saying. Don't beat yourself up too much. Beat yourself up a little bit sometimes. If you've dropped the ball, have a little word with yourself, maybe. You go, do you know what? I could have been better there. I made a mistake there. I was a bit lazy there. That led to this. I could have done better. I'm going to do better in the future. Then keep going. Anyway, Johnny's saying the Rojo, specifically Old English, is very similar to Low German. Old English, God, that was a different language then. Shakespearean times, the English was different then. Nick says, hey again. Roger says, on the cuff too. I am not saying who criticizes or hates on you is jealous. Often correct of you. Sorry, I'm going to start again, Iron Nuts. Those people who are overly critical or hate on you are generally jealous on you because they care too much about you than what happened on their plate, in their plates. People who hate on you are jealous of you a lot of the time or envious. I think jealousy can be sometimes used in a good way if you approach it right. You could look at someone and go, oh, I wish I had their job. I wish I was more like them. And you could use that to inspire yourself. Like a healthier jealous, let's say, if you wanted to approach it that way. But when you hate someone and you imagine you hate someone, you just don't like them. And that could be, I'd say that's more envy, like an envious kind of thing. And they try to turn, and people will be overly critical of you. They'll put you down. It's not a good way to be, is it, Iron Nuts, at all? But they don't look at what's on their plate. They don't look at themselves. Some people who are envious, they don't do anything themselves. The people that are really jealous, envious, or whatever you want to call it, they, instead of looking at what's on their plate, instead of working on feeding themselves, putting food on their plate, working on themselves. They're too busy looking at what everyone else is doing and being envious of those people while not making any effort towards themselves, is what I'm gauging from that, Iron Nuts. Thank you for sharing. The Rojo says, I've got the idea of a world where snake-like people called axillate is the singular, bond with each other and various pores that they attach to themselves to locomote. I've got the idea of a world where snake-like people. Are you about reptilians there, the Rojo? Am I getting that right? Sorry, I'm trying to understand the best I can. So I'm saying that's the difficult part of Slavic languages, the Rojo. So the Rojo says, I indeed ripped the axilla from the Finnish itself. Do you understand saying the Rojo? That sounds like Rick and Morty episode, LOL. Axle or access in Finnish. Asklet likewise is axles. Right. Sorry, right. I'm getting you now, the Rojo. Sorry, my Finnish is absolutely... I have no idea of Russian or Finnish languages at all, to be honest. So axle or axis in Finnish. Oh, thank you. So there's similarities there to an extent. Leela's World. Hi, Leela's World. How are you? Me one time. How are you? I hope you're okay. I've caught up with the chat eventually. So I'm going to go back to a little bit of my content just to speak. So why some people become bitter that you don't? Why some people become bitter? I'm referring to my notes here to be open and honest, but I'm going to add my own perspectives onto this. Unprocessed rejection can turn into rejection. Resentment protects your ego, but internalizers don't usually become loud and bitter. They become quiet and self-critical. If you internalize rejection, if you blame yourself too much, then you probably replay conversations in your head. You're replaying things in your head. You're thinking, what did that mean? Etc., etc. You probably search for what you did wrong. That person's rejected you. They don't want to be with you. And you're thinking, what did I do wrong? That's my fault. And sometimes it might be. Some of it might be. But not all of it. Don't be too hard on yourself. You probably overanalyze tone. I overanalyze a lot of things. Overanalysis can create paralysis, can't it? Tone, timing, text messages. You're analysing everything. Oh, I didn't say that right. I didn't say this right. But please remember this, though. That's not weakness. That's sensitivity without boundaries. Okay, I'll move on. I'll read the comments. Jimmy Jazz. Hi, Jimmy Jazz. I'm really sorry, Jimmy Jazz. You didn't read my comment. Jimmy Jazz, I'm not... Honest to God, I think that YouTube, I'm going through the comments. This is the first comment that I've seen that you've written. I'm not saying you didn't write that comment, but I think there's a few people today, Jimmy Jazz, that have said that I haven't read the comments sometimes. So I'm really sorry if I missed anything, but I can't see it on here. If you can repeat it, please do, and I'll read it. Iron Nuts is saying, I have these words and saying because of Bible. From the Bible, cartoons I grew up with, video games from PS2, the Wii, the GameCube, the Xbox, 360 computer games, Japanese games. Those contain moral values and deep creativity. Yeah, you can find inspiration from different avenues. It could be from a biblical religion. It comes from books. It comes from video games. It comes from movies. It can come from stories. It can come from different places. And not always the most obvious places either, Iron Nuts. Absolutely. So I'm going to keep on with this rejection thing. How to process rejection in a healthy way. How are you going to process it? I'll refer to my notes again. Separate the event from the identity. So what does that mean? Separating the event from the identity. You was rejected, yes. It's happened. It's harsh. It doesn't feel good, but you've been rejected. You didn't get the job. A person doesn't want to be with you. That's a fact. It's happened, let's say, for example. That does not mean I or you are inadequate. Doesn't mean that. Did he reject you? Could be for a variety of reasons. You might not agree with those reasons, but that's what they've done. That's what's happened. Does not mean that you're completely inadequate, though. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Please remember that. Ask yourself this as well. I'll go to the comments in a moment. Was this actually about compatibility? Some people you're not compatible with. Sometimes you might be going that you really want a job, but it's just not compatible with who you are as a person. It doesn't lean into your strengths. Might be in the wrong room, but you don't. A lot of the time, some people are very lucky. They know what they want to do in a career, and they go for it, and they love it. But most people, in my opinion, don't know what they want to do. I'm one of those people. I work in a theatre. I work as a scrub nurse. Basically, hip replacements, knee replacements. Sorry if you've already heard this story, but that's what I do as a job. I work for the NHS. I've done it for 4.5 years. But I've just landed into that area, really. Most people don't know what they want to do, and not everything is going to be compatible with who you are. So not everyone is meant to align. You're not aligned with everyone. You're not meant to get along with everyone, especially if you're being true to yourself. Not everyone's going to see the world the same way you do either, which is okay. We're all different. Anyway, I'll keep going. Regulate before analysing. I'll go to the comments soon, guys. Okay? I'm just going through a bit of my content, and then give me a couple of minutes and I will do. Regulate before analysing. So don't dissect while emotional. Regulate your emotions before analysing. Easier said than done. You've just been dumped. You're fucking upset, and you're starting to look within. But when you're emotionally charged, you're angry, you're upset, you're not going to make the best decisions there. Don't create a flaw just to feel control. Sometimes there isn't one. Don't create a flaw in your head just to feel in control. Oh, it's all my fault. It must be because I'm this, or it must be because I'm that. It must be because I'm inadequate. Not always the case. Don't create a flaw just to in your head, just to justify what's happened, to make sense of it. Not always. Extract, like Iron Nuts has said before in his own way, extract a lesson. Work. What fuck can I learn from this shit situation? I've been rejected. It feels shit, but what am I going to learn from it? Let's learn something. Let's get something from this shit situation without self-attacking too much. This is where your growth comes, not self-destruction. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm going to comments. Lazy Nick. May I ask you what your day job is when you're not giving advice on YouTube? I'm a scrub nurse. I work as a scrub nurse. I give my own perspective on things, by the way, guys. I'm not an expert. I've not got a psychology degree. I'm not a medical professional, meaning I'm not a doctor. I'm not any of these things. I have experiences. I've suffered in my life in my own way, as have you. I've learned, I've got some wisdom, but I don't know everything. I'm a qualified nurse. I've been at that for 4.5 years. I'm a scrub nurse. I work in theatres, but I don't know everything. But I give advice the best I can, but I don't try to put words in people's mouths either. I let people make their own decisions, of course. So that's me. That's me in a nutshell. I'm open and honest, man, as best as I can. I can only be my real self. The only person I can be is my fucking self. I don't pretend to be anything that I'm not. And I don't pretend to know everything either. I fucking don't. And I'm completely aware, and I'm responsible with this as well, that not one size fits all. I try to help people the best I can in my own way. But the real reality is, though, if someone asks for advice, I'll give my opinion on it, but it's up to that individual to sort their own issues out. We're all responsible. We should all be responsible for our own shit. Anyway, in my opinion, I'm working through that shit. Iron Nuts said, cartoons from childhood, playing favourite video games, especially cool ones, hang out with your friends. Absolutely. Dressed up, make it comfortable, a fresh bath, cure for depression, nice bath. It's regulating your nervous system. That is Iron Nuts in a nutshell. Doing things that you enjoy that aren't stressful, playing on a computer game, doing a sport, going for a walk, being in nature, being around good, supportive people, Iron Nuts. You're absolutely right. It's going to help you with your resilience as well. Helps you get over the harder times. Santa saying to Lazy Nick, I'm not reading the rest of that word. What a passive-aggressive comment, Brad. Doesn't give life advice. He's building a loving, safe and supportive environment and community for people who are open towards it. Absolutely. Thanks, Sander. You said it really well there. I give advice to an extent, but I don't tell people how to live their lives because I wouldn't do that. I try to give advice when I can. Doesn't mean I know everything. There's been some rude people on here. Sandra's been hiding in the comments. Right, Lazy Nick, you're going. You're going, by the way. You're going. Off you go. You're gone. And also, just on a nutshell, I'll calm down a little bit there. Anyone that's disrespectful to anyone on here that's out of order, I'm not welcome, of course. Respectful people, you don't have to agree with everything that I'm saying, but don't attack other people on here. It's not happening. An attack on someone else is also an attack on me personally, and that's that. I've no time for it. No time for it. I don't mind some people being silly. It's okay. Some people chat shit. Some people, it's funny. Sometimes the trolls, they're an example of life. You're going to get people that are going to be negative. It's okay. I'm nuts saying anyway, sir, have a great day. I'm nuts. Thank you. Nice to meet you, by the way. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and your perspectives. Been very well thought out. And thank you for sharing. And thank you for being here. And enjoy the rest of your day. So sending some respect, some love and respect back to you there. You deserve it. Absolutely. So you can say, yeah, good call. Thanks, Brad. There's always one. It's life. It's reality. I know what we're doing here. You're on YouTube. You're watching a live. And there's going to be people that are going to be argumentative. There's going to be people that stir up shit. That's life. That is fucking reality of life. Absolutely. I find sometimes what happens with some people, they speak about, some people, they're really wise. They say all these good things, live and let live and all that. But it's harder when you're having to work all the time and you're around negative people. It's so difficult to deal with sometimes. Anyway, let me carry on. There's always one, Sander. There's going to be. It's going to be. How are you going to deal with it? Anyway. Johnny said, talking about silly, where's our favourite crayon tester? I don't know where he is today. He might be chewing on crayons, Johnny. He's not bad. I think that's a really young person, Johnny, that you're talking about with regard to crayon testing. It's no harm, though. No harm, in my opinion. I think you think the same as well. It's good to not always be serious all the time. Zuki saying you're totally right about the assessment of the comment, Sander. Yeah, I kind of gauge that myself. I give them the benefit of the doubt. That person's been on the net you before, and the name Lazy Nick, and then it says something else. It's the racist name, racist username, which is a massive red flag straight away, isn't it? And it's just someone who wants to provoke and just an unhappy, unevolved individual that just wants to. Some people like to get into arguments. It just because it makes them feel better. It's crazy. Jamie James Rose. Hi, Jamie James. Can you explain to me why serial killers kill people? Why do they do it? Good question. Especially if it's serial. It's basically sociopaths, psychopaths that we're talking about. They're wired up differently to the normal person. They completely lack empathy. They're completely really low. There couldn't be any more lower vibrationally. They're really apathy, so low vibration. Some people are so like they see the world in such a dark, twisted way. They don't see what the point is, and because they're suffering so much, they want everyone else to suffer, or they enjoy watching other people suffer. It would be it's basically evil. It's evil, isn't it? A serial killer would be defined as evil, twisted, and they just want to see the whole world burn, kind of thing. Is there any logic to crazy? There's no logic or sense to crazy. It's just crazy. That's what it is. It's interesting from a psychological perspective, Jamie James. It's interesting, but it's hard, it's dark, it's twisted. And some people do it, they don't have any empathy. It's just like imagine you're making a sandwich. You make the sandwich, you no emotion to it, you're just making a sandwich. A serial killer will approach that making a sandwich logic to taking someone else's life. And they just don't have any emotion. The brain works differently. They're just different. It's just twisted. There's probably much more to that. It's an interesting topic, really interesting. But that's all I've got to say on that right now. Sandra's saying that she misses Pursuer. Sandra's saying thank you to Zuki. He was on attack mode and then he gaslighted right after. Typical narcissist there. Absolutely. We don't have the time and energy for people like that. No, I cut it off straight away, Sandra, as well. He started to attack you. It was opening up to attacking me, really. And then he's gone to you. So straight away gone. I noticed it. I've seen that person on here before anyway. It's gone. It's gone. That's been higher frequency as well. High frequency. Basically, is you're still going to get annoyed by people, but then just moving on quickly. Anyway. Zuki saying, regarding biology changes across ADHD, ASD, the amygdala responds faster to weaker social cues with greater intensity. Rejection is interpreted as a loss of safety, threat to belonging, social danger. Yes, Zuki, it is. It's associated to that. It's a threat. It affects the nervous system consciously and unconsciously. Imagine if you're in a tribe thousands of years ago and everyone works together and the strength of the tribe is the unity and the teamwork involved. And imagine if you've got one individual that's rejected from the tribe, like you've got the cast away, aren't they? That individual's cast away. And a lot of the time that individual will die on their own in the wilderness. They'd be rejected by the group. And that could be linked to that threat, danger feeling that you get from rejection sometimes. Kevin, hello, brother. May I have all your money, please? Kevin, no, you cannot have all my money. Absolutely not, Kevin. You need to earn your own, mate. That's how it goes. Anyway, Teddy saying, have you been on the M1 before, Teddy? Yeah, I've driven on the M1. Welcome back, by the way, Teddy. I hope you're okay. Santa saying, wow, Zuki, very informative and interesting. Absolutely. Theodore says, hello. Hello, Theodore. My name's Brad. Nice to meet you, by the way. I hope you're okay. Stratford upon Avon, Boiling Frog is amazing. I love that place. It's a lovely Stratford upon Avon's nice. What a nice town that is. Shakespeare, isn't it? Basically, Shakespeare's town, let's call it that. It's a beautiful place in England. Absolutely stunning, Boiling Frog. Chrome saying, love you and what you're doing is amazing to see. LGBTQ plus streamers. I'm not that. But I have a lot of respect for anyone that's different, let's say. You're spamming there, lad. Riffers John, where's your boyfriend? But that's very rude. You're going as well. Off you go. There we go. Time out. Bye-bye. Straight away, gone. Bye. Okay. So rejection can feel like a verdict, like a final verdict. Most of the time, it's just redirection. Like what was mentioned before. Rejection, a lot of the time, it's redirection. It can feel like an end verdict, the final verdict. I've been rejected. I'm not good enough. That's it for me. No one loves me. I can't do that job. I've been rejected. There's no point even trying. I give up. But it's redirection. It's redirection. That person's not meant for you. It's not the right time. That job's not meant for you. You've been rejected. You might be meant for bigger, better things. That rejection is it's a gift in disguise sometimes. A blessing in disguise, should I say. You are not meant to be chosen by everyone. You're not for everyone. You're not aligned with everyone. That's not meant to be that way. And it's timing as well. You're not for everyone, and that's okay. You're meant to be aligned with the right people. You're meant to be aligned with the right people. Absolutely. God, what's happened to me? I've been rejected recently, and I know it might not be a big deal, but it bothered me a little bit. I'm an active person. I've been doing spinning classes for about 26 years, on and off. But I do a lot of other things like boxing, circuit training, weights, triathlons. I've done loads of different things throughout the years. I've always been active though, and spinning has been part of that, let's say, on and off. I did a spinning class, and I turned up at the spinning class, and I'm very experienced at it. I'm good at it from an amateur perspective, let's say. And I turned up, and the class was very structured, whatever. And I started to do things differently my own way because it works for me, because I know it works for me. And I got told, you're going to hurt yourself. I said, I'm not going to hurt myself. I've done this for years. And then the trainer was really pissed off at me. But do you know what I did? I carried on doing it my own way. I did not conform. Non-conformist here. And then that person was upset, and I knew they were upset. And then I finished the class. And then a few days later, they said, they pulled me up. They went, Brad, do you know the other day you seemed a bit annoyed? I said, oh yeah, I do things my own way. I'm experienced. I do it my own way. It's fine. And they said, well, you need to, they didn't want me in the class ever again. They said, don't come to the class again. It's for beginners only. You're too experienced, they said to me. I'm too experienced to be in that class. So they rejected me. They see me as a threat to the authority, a threat to that control. They didn't fucking want me. I'm in the wrong room. And I was a bit pissed off. I thought, what the fuck's that all about? Never been rejected from a spinning class before. First time in my life. I only turned up once. First time they thought, fuck that. He's too much. I was too much for them. I wasn't trying to be too much. I was just trying to work out. Anyway, probably because I didn't follow the specific rules. Like, piss off. Anyway, they didn't want me. That's not my room. I was a bit annoyed. My ego was hurt a little bit. I reflected on it. And then a few days later, I thought, do you know what? Fuck them. I'm going to do my own thing. Anyway, there you go. So Juki saying, seeing sexuality being used as a dish just takes me back to school days, so childish. Yes, it's the ultimate put down that men use on each other. Sometimes it's to try and create dominance over the other in a way. And other times it's basically projection, or that people, because they're insecure about it themselves on a deeper level, about being referred to as gay or whatever that is, which is nothing wrong with being gay, but some people are, some people aren't. Who gives a fuck? But some people just use it as a put down. It's projection. Can I write you a little jingle through all this saying? Depends what the little jingle is. Let's see where you go with that. Yeah? Yes? They're usually scared of facing their emotions and scared of feelings. Yeah, thanks. So thanks. They're usually scared of people who call other people gay, scared of their own feelings. Yeah. Yeah. Teddy's saying, have you ever eaten on the M1 and what? And I saw you. Where are we going with this, Teddy? Where are we going? Let's see where you go. I do boxing. I used to do boxing too. I used to be quite good at it, actually. Yeah, from an amateur perspective, let's say. Crawley's call me bald. Yeah, I'm bald, and it feels really good. Crawl, do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? Probably not. Flamboyant kid. Hi, flamboyant kid. My name's Brad. Nice to meet you. Yeah, for many jobs, LOL. Have you got a vape? I don't. I've vaped in the past, though, Teddy. I've seen you on here before, a while ago. I think you're into, if I remember correctly, Teddy, you enjoy computer games. I remember that. You're a black belt. I used to do Kung Fu too. I did Kung Fu for 7 years from the age 8 up until 15. Long time ago, that. It helped me a lot. Crow saying, that was my little jingle. You didn't read it. I didn't see your jingle. Sometimes it doesn't give all the comments on here. Write it again if you want me to read it. As long as it's not related to troll-like behaviour, I'll read it. So if a lot of you internalize rejection, that tells me something. If you internalize rejection, you look within, it shows that you actually give a shit. You care. You care. You reflect. Big one. If you internalize rejection, it means that you reflect. You're a reflective individual. That means you work on yourself. You're not projecting your insecurities onto others. You're internalizing it. That's a fucking huge strength. We need more people in the world like that, who reflect, truly self-reflect. That's where you're accessing Pandora's box, and Pandora's box is where all your insecurities are and all your fears are that are painful. And if you're reflecting, you're going inwards, you're trying to open up that box. And that's where the fucking beauty is. That's where the healing occurs. That's where the growth occurs. If you internalize your feelings following rejection, it means that you want to grow. You want to grow. But growth doesn't always require self-punishment. Not too much. I struggle with this still to this day with regards to self-punishment. I still do it now, if I'm honest. But less than I used to. Rejection is information, not identity. It's information. I've been rejected. Why have I been rejected? It's information. What I found helped me, reading through psychology books, really fucking helped me understand others. Why has this person rejected me? Let me think about them as an individual. Let me learn about them as an individual. What kind of behaviors you have? Why do they behave in that way? Why do they do that this way? This person could be a toxic person. You're learning about why they're toxic. It's interesting. Once you get to learn how someone's brain works to an extent, you get to know them a bit better and think, I understand why they do that a bit more now. I don't think it's healthy, but I understand it. That's your information. Some of your information. You are not rejected because you are nothing. You're not worthless. You're not useless. You're not inadequate. Please remember that when you get rejected. You were rejected because not everything is meant for you. No, it's not. Not everything's meant for you. I was rejected by a fucking spinning class. What the fuck? They didn't want me in the room. They were too beginner. I'm too fit and too strong. What the hell? I'm too fit to go. I'm too experienced to do a spinning class. Imagine that. I pay to go there. They don't want me in the room. They don't want me there. But it's not meant for me. It's okay. But you've got to work through it. Work through it together, let's say. Anyway. Oh, I've not read your... Come on. I've not read your thingy. It's just rude, man. If we were... Cron, if you were in, imagine I'm sat with my friends. I'm sat in a pub. I'm sat in a restaurant. We're all drinking. This group of people just sat there. And then you come in the room and you see that I've got a bald head. Would you come up to this group and start saying that? You wouldn't. You wouldn't dare. You would not dare, mate. You would not dare at all. You wouldn't say anything. You're hiding behind a phone or a computer and you're trying to be rude. You're just being rude, man. And there's something clearly not okay with you. Psychologically, you're not a strong person to do that or a good person to do that. If you're in real life, you'd never say that to somebody. You just wouldn't. You wouldn't. There'd be consequences for it in real life if you did that. But obviously, you can get away with it on a computer. You can hide behind your phone, miles away, wherever you are, and you can be rude. It says a lot about you, nothing about me. I've got a bald head, yeah, that's okay. But you shouldn't put people down to make yourself feel better, mate. That means you're insecure. You need to work on yourself. I hope that you heal. I hope that you work on yourself. Crone 4984 I'm speaking to. So I'm not going to read your little jingle because it's rude. People like you, Chrome, 4984, are part of the world, you're part of life. You're telling, you're a really good example of what not to be. Don't want to be like that. Don't want to be like that, man. It's just cruelty is how a coward cries when they're not on their own. I'll say it again. I love this saying, man. I'll keep saying it. In relation to a troll that Chrome 4984 is, cruelty is how a coward cries when they're not on their own. So there you go. Anyway, I'll move on. Respectfully, of course. Bobby Bibbity Bob. Bobby Bibbity Bob. Hi, my name's Brad. Can someone come up from a rejection? Bobby Bibbity Bob. Yes, they can. Can you come back from rejection? Yes, you can. Is it easy? No, it's not. Is it going to take time? It could do. And that time limit is different for everybody. Can you elaborate a little bit more? Can you elaborate a little bit more, Bobby Bibbity Bob? I love the name. Can you give a specific scenario so I've got more to work with to try and understand it better? Sandy's saying Chrome 4984, basically you're losing go weight. Yeah, in a nutshell, yeah. I think I've responded really well to that, Sandra. I like to respond to some of the trolls as well. I like to just, I don't know. But I don't want to give it too much of my attention. Bobbity Bob, you deserve a sub. Oh, thank you, Bobbity Bob. I respect that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you to anyone that's subscribed. Thank you for anyone that's liked. Thank you for anyone that's watched and commented. Sandra saying like and subscribe, everyone. I'm just going to share that. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate that. I've gone through. God, I'm just reflecting on the live that I'm just doing now. I started in a very staggered way. I started my live. It wasn't the best to begin with. I was a little bit tired as well, and didn't flow very well to begin with. It feels like it's flowing more now. It's fine. I don't know. I'm reflecting on my own self right now. It's a skill, isn't it? Going with the flow kind of thing. The ups and downs of doing something. Takes time to grow from rejection. Depends where you're at, doesn't it? And if it's the first time, if it's someone that you love, it's difficult. And if you're young and you're not compass mentis, you don't really know yourself, you've not got much life experience, and it hits you harder, and you don't have much information to go with. If you've not got much knowledge or information or experience and you're experiencing rejection, you're not going to understand it as well. So it hits harder then. Chrome 4984. Don't know why you get so mad when someone mentions I'm not getting mad at all. I'm bold. It's okay. I love myself. I'm not going to get mad at all. I'm just, you're telling me I'm projecting. Of course, you're not going to, you're truly lost. You're truly lost. Chrome 4984. You're truly lost. You'll never look within. You're in the wrong place. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. I don't know where. Go somewhere else. Just flick your phone like that. I could time you out anytime I wanted to. And you try, never underestimate another one, guys. This is a really good example. Chrome 4984. Let's analyze this. Let's psychoanalyze this. You've just proved my point by getting mad again. I'm not mad at all. I'm calm. I'm really calm. I'm good. Golden. And this is basically, this is like I'm playing chess and you're playing snakes and ladders. In a nutshell. I know my ego's kicking in there a little bit, if I'm honest, but I'm not getting mad again. Never underestimate the power of suggestion. So Chrome 4984, you proved my point by just getting mad again. You're getting mad. I'm not mad. I'm calm. I'm good. Projecting again. You don't sound good. You sound offended. I'm not offended, man. I've been called bald so many times. I'm just calling you out for your childish behaviour. You put people down to make yourself feel better. And you're hiding behind your phone. And my point was, if you was in real life, I'll repeat it again, you wouldn't say anything like that to somebody. You wouldn't dare. More than likely, you wouldn't dare. You wouldn't do that. When did I put you down? You called me bald. You're offensive. Sounds like you're 8 years old. Yeah, maybe. I don't know what age you are. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with life, isn't it? I don't want to spend too much time here because it's just low vibrational, isn't it? But it's a good example. I'm just going to be 1 minute, guys. Chrome. Zero accountability from Chrome. You're proving my point. Thank you. I'll be back in 1 minute. I just need to do one more. Sorry, guys, I'm back. If you can hear me, hopefully. Thank you. Let me just go back, guys. Sorry about that. Crow said, I gave you a funny jingle about being bald. Yeah, and you got mad about it. I didn't get mad. Disappointed, yeah. It's disappointing, but I don't. How can I? By what you present and what you verbalize on here, well, you should be disappointed in yourself, but you're never going to get to that point. You're going to be stuck. The problem is when you don't take accountability for your own actions and you put people down to make yourself feel better, but then you're never accountable for your actions. The downside is you never grow. You stay stuck. It does not end well. Really sad. Honestly, it doesn't end well, mate. It doesn't end well. And a lot of people get stuck in this really low vibrational 3D world, and you can give a help. You can't give a helping hand to a closed fist. If someone's never at fault for anything that they do, they're never accountable. They never truly self-reflect. They put other people down to make themselves feel better. That's all they ever do all their lives. That's it. That's it. And it's sad. But you've just got to let them be. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, can you? And that's their choice and that's their life. But there's consequences for that. You don't get away with anything in life. Nothing. You get away with nothing in life. Maybe short term you might do. Long term you don't. Anyway, Suki, it just reads as shallow. It does. Brad is a great guy. Thank you, Suki. You're great too. Thank you. And there are far more positive things about him you could bring attention to. I'm not mad. No, really not. Bobby's saying he's not mad. He's not offended. He's disappointed. Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. A little bit. Bobby, BBT. Bobby. Sorry, I can't see. I'm just going to call you Bob. Sorry, Bobby. He's not mad. He's offended. He's disappointed. No, I'm not mad. Over what? Don't call me bald. It's true, I am bald. It's okay. It's just but my point is, you just wouldn't. You won't go up to someone and say that. It's just really rude, isn't it? It's not good. It's not a good way to be. Anyway, Johnny's saying here, we got a perfect example for narcissistic behavior. Oh, perfect. Stirring something up and then gaslighting. Bang on, Johnny. It's bang on. It's bang on. Perfect example for narcissistic behavior. Absolutely. They'll be rude to you. They'll be rude to you. They'll mock you. And they'll go, well, why are you getting mad? Why are you getting mad? What's wrong with you? And they'll try and blame you and make you feel guilty for their behavior because they can't deal with it themselves and they're just stuck. I met so many people like this, in my life, and they got me when I was younger. 43 now. They got me when I was 18, 19. They got me. They fucking got me, these narcissistic people. They really did. They ran rings around me when I was younger because I didn't know. I had no idea. But now, it's a different story now. It's a different story now. They stay away from me now. They don't speak to me now. Yeah, it's not good. And then Canonis just, again, projecting, how upset you are. He's just going with the same logic, running out of, let's move on for the toxic energy. Yes, I agree. Okay, we're going to move on. I agree. I think it's been explained, hasn't it? And that's being more higher vibrational. It's noticing and putting boundaries in place with somebody that's being narcissistic, noticing it, becoming neutral, not like upset, just knowing it for what it is, putting the boundaries in place, and then just, moving on, ignoring, keep going, but don't feel bad about it. Easy said than done with some situations, but that's how you win. Just be focusing on yourself, focusing on you. You've got this bell end, this narcissistic person. They're trying to attack you. They're trying to tear you down. Your energy's too high for them. They can't keep up with you. You're just focused on you. Brush it off. Water off a duck's back. Water off a duck's back. And keep focusing on you and just do you. Oliver McEwen, I think I've seen you on here before. You remind me a bit of Sean Atwood. Maybe I look a little bit, I know who Sean Atwood is. My personality is not the same as that person. I've got a bald head like Sean Atwood. Yes, I have. However, my personality is not like his at all. At all. I'm not that. No. I don't think I would ever want to. I'm not saying that person's all a bad person or anything, but I don't know. My character's not. I've got a bald head like him, though, if I'm honest. So it's all good. I'm going to read the comments for a while, guys, for as long as I can. I've got responsibilities today. I'd love to speak for longer, but I've got stuff to do. So I'll be here for another 10 minutes or so, and then I have to go, unfortunately. Thank you to anyone that's liked and subscribed. I really appreciate you all, by the way. Thanks for anyone that's watching. I hope that some of what's said by myself or what other people have mentioned has resonated with some of you. Maybe you've learned something from it. Maybe it's helped someone in some way. I hope that's happened. If it hasn't, it doesn't matter. But yeah, anyway. Closing in on 400 subs. Yeah, how many have I got, Zuki? I can't see it on here. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. My next target is 500 because then I can become monetized, UK, and I can start selling my own things on here. That's my aim, if I'm honest. But doing it in a genuine, natural way as well. I can't. Yeah. Thanks, UK. And thanks to anyone that's liked and subscribed, by the way. Appreciate you all. Keep sending that out there. Thank you, Zuki. Azan, doing another fast. Good for you, man. You're practicing your religion very well there. As a Muslim, of course. Not that I'm an expert on Muslims, mate, if I'm honest, Azan, but I respect that. It's really a dry fast as well, which I've mentioned to you before. It's really good for you. I'm fasting right now, Azan, but if I'm honest, I'm not doing the dry fast. I'm having liquids. I'm 373 subs. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Thanks, Zuki. 373 subs. Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you. I'm currently learning kind of, I want to stay on top. Sometimes what's happens is, it's my own fault this, by the way. I have a topic and then I talk about the topic a little bit, but then I just read the comments and then I lose the topic a little bit, which is fine because you want to keep reading the post, the community comments, of course. But I'm trying to keep on topic more. I'm trying to learn that skill a little bit, but keeping the flow of the conversation at the same time. It's not always easy, that, from my perspective anyway. Motivation Master. I love that name, Motivation Master. My name's Brad. Nice to meet you. I don't think I've seen you on here before. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. How are you today? I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I was a little bit tired when I first started this live. I feel a lot better now, so I've woken up a little bit, which is great. I'm good. Life's good. I'm just trying to send some appreciation out there. I feel very calm. Feeling very calm and very focused. I'm very present. How are you, Motivation Master, is the question back to you. Bobby, welcome back, mate. It's all good. I'm just going quiet for a moment. Sander, if you're there, let me know when you need to go, by the way, and I'm going to have to leave soon, guys. I'm really sorry. I've got maybe 5 minutes left. Bobby is saying he's great, thanks. I'd love to be here for a bit longer, but I've got responsibilities. I've got stuff to do. I wish I could stay longer, but I can't. What am I drinking? Currently, I'm drinking this. It's got electrolytes in it. It's like zero sugar electrolytes. Is it Hey 5 or High 5 electrolytes? Like a lemon and lime electrolyte, zero sugar one. That's what I'm drinking right now. So, what was I going to say then? So I'm going to be live again soon. I'm going to be live on Sunday next week, 10 o'clock in the morning, of course. I'm going to do my best to be live tomorrow night. I will post, if you do like and subscribe, if you do subscribe to my channel, it will, and you click on the notification button, it will let you know when I'm next live again, if you do want to see me again, of course. I don't know if you already know this, some of you already know this, but I talk about, what do I talk about? I talk about self-improvement, working on yourself, becoming high vibrational, working through the mess of life, working through the suffering of life. And those topics, there's lots of different topics that are related to all of that. Bobby saying, if you think of a word enough, it sounds weird. What do you mean by that? So anyway, elaborate a little bit, Bobby, if you can. Thanks for sharing, though. It's all good. So yeah, I will be live again during the week. I'm yet to think of the topic that I'm going to be thinking about next. I need to think about that. But we'll go with the flow. We'll go with the flow. So I'm going to be ending soon. But I'll read the comments for the next few minutes, of course. I'll do the best I can. Giovanni. Hi, Giovanni. Giovanni, welcome back. Hi back to you. Hello. Sorry, you're catching me at the end there, Giovanni. I hope you're okay. I hope you're doing all right. I like to watch your videos. Oh, thanks, Giovanni. They're comfortable to watch. Thank you for your words. Oh, Giovanni, that's really, thank you. I try to just be my best self, really, as best I can. Best imperfect self, let's say. Thank you. Looking forward to the next stream. Thank you, Motivation Master. Thank you. Yes, I'll be live on Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning UK time. And then during the week, I work as a nurse, don't I? I work for the NHS. So I try to get in the lives in the evening from 8 p.m. onwards. But maybe Monday, maybe Friday. Monday, Friday. But I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So I'll look at my situation and I'll let you know my work situation. And semantics. Citation. Interesting. Semantic citation. What does that mean, Bobby? Search it on any info media. Interesting, Bobby. I don't know what that is. Semantic satiation. I can't even say that word. Suki saying, yeah, thanks for today's stream, Brad. It's been good. Oh, thanks, Suki. I really struggled in the first 45 minutes, first hour. I really struggled with this live. I turned up. My words weren't coming out correctly. I felt really off. But luckily, as it's gone on, it's got better. It's got better as it's gone on. So yeah. Last couple of minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna go. I love doing this. I love doing it. That's how you see it through. I feel like I'm meant to be doing this. I'm meant to be doing it. Anyway, Bobby's saying it's the phenomenon. I can't say that word either. I struggle saying some words. It's the phenomenon where you think of a word enough. It sounds like random words mumbled together without meaning. Wow. It's just a sound, isn't it? I suppose, Bobby. Sound, isn't it? We're making sounds that are referred to as words. Interesting. I've never thought of that before, Bobby. I've never ever thought of that, ever in my life. It sounds interesting though. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for making me think a little bit there. Right, guys, I'm going to go. I think it's time. I've got stuff to do. Unfortunately, I've got stuff to do. It's just the way it is. So thank you for your time. I will be live 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, of course. And I will be live during the week in the evening, UK time, from 8 p.m. onwards. I will announce it on my channel. So thank you for anyone that's liked. Thank you for anyone that's subscribed. Thank you for sharing all your wisdom too. It's not just what I'm saying. It's what you guys are saying too. I learn a lot from you guys, by the way. So I appreciate you all. Look after each other. Make the best of your life. The best of now. I know it's not easy, but make the fucking best of it. And don't take any shit. You know what I mean? Don't take any shit, but keep being kind. So thank you for your time and goodbye.